Good late afternoon. This is Jason, just chiming in with another vlog. Instead of soap operas and talking about my own personal soap that I'm writing online, I've decided maybe to do something a little bit more globally, or actually more nationwide. Our deficit. I don't care whose fault it is. I don't care if it's the Democrats' fault, the Republicans' fault, or both of their faults. It doesn't matter whose fault it was that we're at one of our record deficit in the country right now. It doesn't matter. What matters is actually coming to a solution to actually fix the problem. This would involve the concept of compromise. I know compromise is almost kind of like admitting you're wrong. It's not. It's actually getting something and also giving up something in order to achieve a common goal. You have to do that sometimes. Now, I do have to say that, well, Representative Paul Ryan from Wisconsin's $6+ trillion spending cut bill or proposal is a little astronomical, and there's some things in there I don't think he should cut, and there's some things that he didn't suggest that he should cut. At least the man is actually doing his job. He's the chairman of the committee. He actually, he and his committee members actually were doing their job. I commend him for that. And I think that this is a great first a springboard, basically, for negotiations. At least you've got something on the table to discuss and compromise on. Whether the Democrats like it or not, spending is out of control and they do need to cut down on the spending. But on the other hand, the Republicans need to understand, though, that they can't cut all spending, that some things have to be spent to maintain things like the defense, healthcare. Well, maybe not healthcare, but there are some things that actually do need to be spent on. And maybe not as much as they're spending right now, but they're, you have to be very careful what you cut. You can't just go in there and cut everything to the bare bones. You have to research, and I hope that the committee has been researching what they can cut and what they can't cut. I definitely think if you've got any programs out right now, subsidy programs, to look at those to see if if you need to further subsidize the programs or not. If you find out the programs are working fine and they're making their own and they are able to fund their research on their own, cut subsidies on that. If you see that there are duplicate processes being done for paperwork, cut out the duplicate and just do it one way. If it works both ways, cut out one way and do the other way. Things like that. Hopefully, the spending cuts don't include job loss, because that's pretty much going to cause the economy to stall a little bit. But maybe all the employees and Congress and the president might agree on a pay freeze or maybe a little pay cut for themselves. Um, all for the betterment of the country, of course. I do definitely think that's the one thing that he needs to put in this plan is that I think Congress does need to take maybe a 5 or 10% pay cut. I'm sure they make a lot of money. I'm sure they won't be too destitute without the 5%. Um, well, right now, hopefully, this time, once October, November comes around, they will be able to actually vote on the budget for 2012 and not wait 6 months. I mean, I don't know what the Democrats were thinking, waiting till after the election. They had an easy opportunity to just pass a budget before midterm elections last year, and they decided to wait because they wanted to blame the Republicans. And then, of course, the Republicans wanted to, of course, discuss all these, drastic cuts. And it's like, pass the bill, pass the budget. The budget is overdue. Pass it. If I was at work or at school and I was 6 months late with an assignment, I would number one fail the class or not have a job. Shame we can't do that with Congress. You have a deadline. You may get a 1 or 2 week extension, but if you wait 5 or 6 months, you're out of there. It would be nice. I bet you if Congress had that same thing that all the common employees in the world have, in the country have, where if you don't do something, but if you don't finish an assignment by your deadline, no questions, you're fired or you're reprimanded and put on probation or suspended. Whether you're a student or a worker in the real world, you don't mess with deadlines. I guess that's all I have to say for right now because my voice is kind of going out. Love the allergy season. Um, but this is Jason, and this is just a little personal vlog rant on what's going on in the world or in the country right now. Thank you and have a good day.